Deadly mystical spheres are attacking a little boy. Can the psychics stop the dangerous spirit? Don't miss the unraveling of a shocking mystical anomaly. You are watching Psychic Investigations. There are only true and astonishing stories here. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate intricate criminal cases and mysterious paranormal phenomena. A 34-year-old Ukrainian, Olena Saliachuk, sought help from the psychics. Her only son, 4-year-old Artem, is being pursued by some unknown mystical force.
One moment, he was next to me. Then I heard a terrible scream and the doorbell ring. It was my neighbor. She was shouting, "Artem is on the balcony!" Scared, I ran to the balcony and saw Artem leaning over the railing.
Another moment, and the boy would have fallen on the sidewalk.
God, I got so terrified.
Olena phoned me and said, Artem sees a sphere in the window and it summons him.
Then it got even worse. Artem started losing consciousness right in front of his mother.
He pointed up at the ceiling. He saw someone, even though I didn't. Then he rolled his eyes and fainted. It was so shocking.
To find out if paranormal phenomena are really happening in Olena's apartment, we installed highly sensitive video cameras for a day. What we saw in the video shocked everyone. A circle appeared above the boy's head. But what is it?
I want to ask the psychics to arrive and help us understand what's threatening our child's life.
Our project's experts Olena Kuryllova and Rubina Tsybulska take on the case. Will they sense what is disturbing little Artem?
Hello.
Hello?
I'm Olena.
Serhi!
And this is our Artem.
Hello there.
Can we go inside?
I need to spread the cards. May I? All right. Give me your hand. I see something like a cloud. Hold on.
This cloud, it's over here.
An energy cluster. It's a blue sphere and it's pulsing, making flashes.
Yes, flashes.
He didn't tell us about the flashes and the blue sphere.
The air seems to move around you. The windows are closed, but I feel a draft. And I have a sensation of pushing.
He felt something similar.
This is how either spirits or entities behave. I feel it as a real danger to the boy.
Could the strange circles that Artem sees be spirits?
Can you draw me what you see?
Artem draws strange circles on paper, similar to those recorded by the video cameras. What are they? Could this really be how the boy sees spirits?
This could affect the boy's fate. What card is it? Death. See? The child turns over. Death. And not just for him, but also for adults.
And what's this?
Over here, I feel the movement of fabric.
My husband saw it, but I was sleeping.
I opened my eyes and saw that the blanket was like this, raised about 30 centimeters. And after it fell, I felt cold air on me for 2 more hours, as if someone was breathing on me.
It can really be a soul.
All of a sudden, Olena Kuryllova rushes somewhere without saying a word.
The 3rd floor. And in the window opening, I see a boy. It's the death of a little boy. I sense a falling body and a burning window.
How terrible.
There was a fire and a man's hands threw the boy out of the window. The man's back was on fire, his hair was burning, and the child was also on fire.
It's so horrific, a nightmare.
There was never a fire in Olena's apartment. Who are those people in the fire then?
I see a book. Was there ever a library or publishing house here?
I don't know.
However, the local historians and residents confirmed the clairvoyant's words.
There was a printing house here in the 19th century. And one day, a man, its worker, brought his son to work and a fire started. To save the boy, he threw him out the window, and the man himself burned to death.
It's like a warning to the family. This has happened before and could happen again. After all, both the father and the son see those energy clusters, and I believe they are the ones in danger.
Olena, how's it going? Serhiy, can I have you for a word? A girl. You had another child. Is this your second marriage?
Yes.
Serhiy met his first wife, also Olena, right after graduating from school.
She was the most beautiful girl in our village. We lived together for 6 years.
Crosses. Serhiy, did you have a daughter? Did she die?
Yes.
I also see a woman, and she's dead too.
Yes. My wife and daughter both died in a fire.
Serhiy's first wife and their 3-year-old daughter, Svetlana, burned alive in their home 40 kilometers from here. Serhiy was working abroad at the time.
I still find it hard to believe it.
The wooden house burned to the ground along with its residents.
Firefighters arrived. First, one truck, and then, when it ran out of the water, another. Everything burned to ashes.
The house was made of wood. The flames were terrible. Olena suffocated immediately in the flames, and they later found poor little Svetlana under the bed when they were clearing the ruins.
The firefighters officially concluded that the cause of the fire was a short circuit.
Where are their graves?
There is definitely a connection here between what Artem sees and what's threatening him, and the situation that took those people's lives. Shall we go?
Olena's spirit, come to us.
Dad hasn't visited us for a while. He forgot us.
The man is embarrassed. In all these years, he's only been here a couple of times.
Over the years, I only visited them twice. On my birthday, I brought 8 roses. You see? The funeral was on my birthday.
Ever since then, the man has hated his birthday. After all, it was on that day that he buried his dearest people.
She misses you terribly. She wants to tell you something. Hear me. The girl's spirit was trying to say something about her sister. I couldn't understand it then. After all, Serhiy had no other children except his son Artem.
Look, we summoned 2 spirits.
And there
are 4 of them. 2 men, and one of them looks to have blood.
over here. There's a knife.
And the other one looks limping.
Your blood relatives. One is older and the other is younger. Your father and uncle.
First, I lost my wife and daughter, and then my father and uncle.
Within just 1 year, Serhiy's wife and daughter tragically died. His uncle fell from a truck and his father was stabbed in the heart.
Tell me your father's name.
Sasha.
Sasha. Sasha is trying to say something. Tell Artem. I can't say it out loud.
Say it. He's asking you.
I hear the word next. I didn't tell the parents everything then. I was told that something bad could happen to their son on that very day if we didn't stop it.
The energy cluster that is haunting Olena's son has already taken 4 lives, and the next ones could be Serhiy and little Artem.
This terrible force is destroying Serhiy's family. Someone must have sinned greatly to summon the energy clusters of such destructive power.
His wife says that the answer lies in the house where the tragedy occurred.
By the time the clairvoyants arrive at the ruins, many people have already gathered there.
A mother and her daughter burned alive. We were shocked.
The place where the clairvoyants are now standing used to be the house where Serhiy's first family lived.
I asked what happened here. Payment or retribution?
Olena, my mirror showed me that the fire started from inside the house. Serhiy, you were supposed to be here when it happened.
Yes. If I hadn't left, I would have died with them too.
Serhiy says he didn't plan to go abroad for that job. He received a call and left urgently, and the tragedy occurred a few days later.
Serhiy, you have an unfulfilled mission.
What mission?
You didn't do something you were supposed to do, and it's looming over you.
And a girl might have been in the house. I clearly saw the image of a girl, a teenager of around 13 to 15 years old. She had the energy of a lonely, abandoned child. Wait. Are those your mother and sister? What's your name?
Ruslana.
This is Olena's daughter from her first marriage.
She might have been here.
I wanted to come here that day, but I wasn't allowed to go.
On that dreadful day, the 7-year-old girl stayed with her great-grandmother, who didn't let the girl go home late at night.
She saved you like a guardian angel.
She's not Serhiy's daughter. I don't feel your father next to you.
It's hard to imagine, but in an instant, this girl lost her mother, sister, and father.
After I lost my mother and sister, I found out that he wasn't my biological father. I never saw my real father. He abandoned me.
Now, the girl is being raised by her great-grandparents, who are almost 80 years old. They are terribly worried about what will happen to her when they're gone.
Death comes from Serhiy's side, but you are not his blood daughter. It wasn't your fate. Rubina, why do I see a woman? An older woman?
Wait a minute, yes. This woman runs out of the flames. Who else was here?
It seems impossible, but it turned out that Serhiy's mother, Valentina, was in the house during the fire. She lives nearby and often visited her son. She stayed the night then.
There were 3 of them in the house. Valentina escaped, but they couldn't.
The house caught fire at night. The older woman saved herself, but her daughter-in-law and granddaughter did not. Strangely enough, Valentina, as witnesses say, did not have a single burn. The whole village and even her son suspect that she is responsible for the tragedy.
Mom keeps her lips tight, so I suspect her. Only God knows what was here.
I couldn't be wrong. Over that woman, I saw a clump, a cluster of this black negative energy that I'd seen before. I felt it when I held the boy's photo. This cluster was soaked in pain, blood, deaths, and curses, if you will. It was Serhiy's mother. Valentina, give me your hand. Did you see the fire? Were you there when it started?
Actually, I wasn't.
When did you leave the house?
There was no fire yet. There was just smoke.
Valentina says she ran out of the house the moment the fire started.
I heard a knock on the window in the middle of the night. I got up, opened the door, and found her on the doorstep, smelling of smoke. Their house was on fire. I asked, "Where is Svetlana? Why did you come here?" But Svetlana and Olena stayed in the house.
As soon as I got there, the kitchen was already burning, and smoke was coming from there. I got on my knees and screamed at the top of my lungs, calling for Olena.
Why didn't you grab the rest with you?
I don't know. I simply ran.
You ran. But how about your granddaughter?
It wasn't burning yet. I ran to call the firefighters.
The villagers still discuss the awful tragedy. They believe that Valentina is responsible for the death of her daughter-in-law and granddaughter. They claim that when the fire began, she simply ran away, leaving her relatives to die.
You didn't wake her.
The woman remains silent.
You are a very dark person. Your energy is totally dark. There's a trail of deaths behind her. That's her. All of this is happening because of her.
Then I understood that those clusters of dark energy were her punishment. Valentina will live a long time, suffering, burying her loved ones one after another.
This is incredible. Valentina buried her husband, brother, and tragically lost her daughter-in-law and granddaughter. Is death now hunting her son and grandson? But why?
Why is the village cursing you?
Why would they?
Because of your lifestyle. You are an adult woman. I don't want to recount it all here in front of everyone. Besides, the people know it anyway. Your deeds and your life are essentially killing your children and grandchildren.
The woman won't answer. She pretends not to understand what it's about. However,
people resented and said she had to be burned or killed.
But why is the entire village against this woman? What did she do to deserve that?
The people stood behind, but no one dared to say anything. They still feared Valentina, because with her hatred, she could do anything. Like make someone's son a drunk, take away someone's husband, plant some dark charm on someone, or drive them to the grave. The villagers silently hate her. And this hatred has boomeranged onto Valentina's family, hence, so many terrible deaths.
She had affairs with other women's husbands, and naturally the wives found out about it. Only married men would go to her, so the women came and caused scandals. I heard they even broke her windows for it.
My husband went to that woman. You know, Valentina. I cursed her. My children support me.
I found eggs on my property. She put them there right under my house.
Everyone says she's a scoundrel.
Her deeds generated those black clusters of energy, which are now haunting all her relatives.
She started a real den here. All those scandals, all of that because of her. Everyone, both old and young, agree on that. The whole village cursed her.
When cursed, we get clumps of the dark energy that fly around us, sucking everything in, and a series of deaths. These clumps of black energy. The boy sat and drew them for me. I asked him where, and he pointed to the air.
So what do I do?
You must repent.
I will, but only to my son.
I forgive you.
For the first time in the years, the son embraces his mother.
Your son and his little son, they are not guilty of anything. I will put up protection, and so will Rubina.
It's hard for me, too.
When was the last time you went to church?
It's been a while.
Can you fast? You must kill the demon within yourself. The demon is passions, vices, habits. Rubina, did you mention a mission?
You have an unfulfilled mission.
Can you guess what it is?
To bear responsibility for someone else. Here is your mission. I understood that it was about this girl the spirit of little Svetlana told me about at the cemetery. It was like a cry. Hear me and pass it on. Tell Dad to love my sister as he loved me. You will adopt the girl.
We will try.
Or at least help her in life. She's not a stranger to you.
I care for her. I do my best. And we're planning to adopt her.
Olena, let's put up the protection.
A story that makes your blood run cold. Who and why took the life of a pregnant woman? The ghost of a little girl will tell the truth. This story is about a supernatural force that has been haunting an ordinary family from Ukraine's Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. It all began after funeral wreaths mysteriously appeared at their home's gate.
The gate opens, and Vitaly, my brother, comes into the yard running with scared eyes. "Why are the wreaths at the gate?" he asked. It was a shock. There was a round wreath over here with flowers and a black ribbon, and a basket of flowers. It was next to it. It was horrible because you don't find such things at your gate every day.
Ola asked her neighbors, but nobody had seen who had brought the wreaths or when it happened. The woman didn't know what to think since the family had no enemies, and they'd never even quarreled with anybody.
My husband burned the wreaths. He grabbed them with a pitchfork and took them to the fire.
Ever since, the family's life has turned upside down.
I never believed in all those mysteries, but what began after that, this is horrific.
Doors began opening themselves in the house, and a window pane cracked and broke itself. And at night, there's a scary moan coming from the backyard that makes the blood run cold. But what's worst of all is that the family members feel they're being watched constantly.
I had this eerie feeling in the backyard, as if someone were watching me. And the dog, howling every night. There's this howling.
When I woke up, I heard footsteps, like someone was walking around the house.
My husband works at the plant bakery, and he delivers bread at night. He's not home at night. When my daughter falls asleep, she then wakes up, calling me and asking if I heard someone walk in the house.
A tragedy almost happened one night. When the mother entered her daughter's room to kiss her goodnight, the heavy chandelier fell from the ceiling and crashed next to the girl's bed.
It was so close that it could have killed Natalia.
The next morning, the mother couldn't wake her daughter.
She slept for 24 hours without waking up. I poured cold water on her and slapped her on the cheeks to wake her up, but she didn't react. When I took her hand, it was cold. Her temperature was 35.5.
The doctors hardly brought the girl back to her senses. The checkup revealed that she had absolutely no health issues. Therefore, the medics assumed she'd been in a pre-coma condition as a result of the shock she'd endured the other day. Desperate, the mother called the psychics.
I really want them to come and help us. I'm not afraid of death, but I'm afraid of losing my children. My children are everything to me.
Our project's regular experts and the best psychics in the Ukrainian nation, Zhana Shulakova and Rubina Tsybulska, agreed to help the family.
Last night I was preparing for the meeting with Olha when I saw my late mother in a dream. I don't know why, but she was with a girl of about 10. I saw a scar on her neck.
Could that girl be somehow connected to Olha?
I don't know. I'd never seen her before.
What if one of the wreaths was from that girl's tomb? Could it be that this is how her spirit was bound to Olha's house?
That girl was strange. Cold emanated from her like she was dead. but she looked alive. My mom said, "You must help her," but I don't know how I could do it.
Mad love that led to a murder is to blame.
The mirror shows me a hole in the ground, although it's not a grave, and there's a woman in it. She's young and beautiful, like her feet are tied up. She holds her hands like this in fear. She's wearing a blue necklace. I see some woman take this necklace off her arm. No way. This is Ola who's doing it.
Are you sure it's Olha? And who is this woman with the necklace?
I don't know. The image has vanished.
The cards say the young woman is dead. She was pregnant and she was buried alive.
Dear Lord.
After a while, the psychics are on site in the village where the woman lives.
I beg you to help me. Please help. Some new wreaths appeared here after that. I love my children. Please help me. Please.
Olha, we will do everything we can. Funeral wreaths look like a jinx a lot.
Tell me, please, who could benefit from doing it?
It's quite possible the person who did it bound a spirit that's haunting you to your house.
Can we work in the backyard?
Of course. Come in, please.
All of a sudden, I heard a child's voice calling out quietly, "Mom." But at that moment, Jana distracted me.
Give me a chair.
Jana, what is that?
I don't know.
What's this?
A snake's skin.
Oh my god. Do you have a napkin? A snake skin. I can't believe it. Who could leave it here?
I don't know. I swear, I don't know.
Is it some kind of jinx?
It's an attribute for a ritual. Has anybody held a ritual here? It was done by someone with magic abilities.
It's a man. He's young, about your age. He's somehow connected to this house.
Alexei. People always said he looked like a shaman. People said he practiced black magic. He went somewhere. We bought the house from his father.
Could he conduct a black ritual with this snake skin before he left?
The ritual isn't black, no. It's like he was trying to use it to protect the house. But I see the wreaths are connected with this young man.
I see that two sisters asked him to help them. They asked him to save them from grave danger. He did everything he could, but it wasn't enough. Eventually, death returned to their home, and then the women thought he'd fooled them. These women brought wreaths from the graves of their deceased relatives. They did it as revenge on him. But the sisters didn't know he didn't live here anymore.
It was a load off my shoulders to learn they weren't brought here for me and my family.
The cards said there was no spirit bound to the wreaths.
Then, what kind of force has been haunting the house? And where has it come from, and why won't it leave the family alone?
I was shocked. How had the gate been opened? You have to apply strength to open it.
Mom, my mother's spirit is here. She's with the girl who has the scar on her neck again.
The moment the gate opened, there was a shadow behind it.
My mom says that the girl can't get out herself.
Who is that girl? Are you sure you don't know her?
My mom points at Yola. She says, you know the child. The girl is 9 or 10. She has brown hair and dark eyes, and she's slim. And on her neck, there's a scar like from a knife.
I swear, I don't know who that girl is. I sincerely don't know.
It's strange. Both my mom's and the girl's spirits vanished.
All right. So, the force from the netherworld that's been haunting you has something to do with a murder caused by jealousy. Is anybody there? Did the sound come from here?
Yes, it did. I still don't understand what could have fallen there.
It was like somebody from beyond wanted to draw our attention to them. Then I suddenly saw a shadow. I followed it, and what I saw there was horrific. I saw somebody's body in the field.
Rubina, what is that?
I see a dead girl in the hole. She's very beautiful. She's 17, and oh my god, she was buried alive. Ola, I see you bent over her. What did you do to her?
We unearthed her.
What do you mean?
My husband decided to plant grapevines, so he hired a young man named Boris. He was supposed to make holes to plant the vines. I was in the house while they were working outside. Then my husband comes in and says, "Here, take a look." And there's a skull in his hand.
But there's not only the skull, but the whole skeleton.
Yes, we found a woman's body. She had a necklace on her neck.
The mirror showed me this woman before the investigation. She had her legs tied and was holding her hands like this, in terror.
This is precisely how she was lying. Her legs were tied with a wire up to her knee.
I saw her lying in a crystal casket.
She was under a layer of shattered glass. I immediately called the police and told them everything. When our local policeman arrived, he simply looked at it and said it was ancient, and we had to call a priest.
It's hard to even think of it. So he told you to do whatever you wished to the body.
I'm shocked.
What did you do with the bones?
We called a priest and buried her.
Could this woman be the spirit haunting your family? I've had a case in my practice where a woman found a man's skeleton in her backyard. It turned out to be the former owner of the house. They disturbed him, and he began doing everything to make the family leave his property. Jana, that young woman indeed lived here.
The mirror shows her house was over there. There used to be a great homestead here. And the young beauty was from a rich family.
A rich, wealthy man lived there. He had 2 daughters.
It looks like before she died, this woman was running away from somebody. Somebody wanted to kill her because of love and a baby she was supposed to give birth to. She was pregnant when she was killed. Where did you bury her?
Where the priest showed us. In the woods. Over there.
Why not at a cemetery?
The priest forbade. He said it was possible she'd committed suicide.
Suicide with the legs tied. Buried alive under shattered glass, and how could she bury herself?
Who could kill a young pregnant woman?
Someone she didn't love. She was supposed to marry another man.
The one her parents had chosen, you see.
But she fell in love with another man. And she got pregnant.
That man was poor. Here's the card of poverty. It was forbidden love.
Yes, yes. My grandma told me her parents didn't want it.
And soon she disappeared.
Yes. But Grandma didn't know where she could have gone.
The father killed his own daughter.
But I don't think it's her who's bothering you.
She's grateful because you helped her find peace.
Yes, the priest gave a funeral service.
You did the best you could for her. She's deeply grateful.
In my vision, I saw you take off her necklace.
She had a bead necklace of a tenderly blue, turquoise color. We collected all the beads and put them all in.
In the grave?
Yes, yes.
Do you hear the steps? Look. This girl, she's here.
Is it this spirit from the grave?
Yes.
She's calling it.
Does she want to help?
Let's go. The woman has stopped at a house. She said the ghost that's haunting Olha came from here. Then she vanished.
Whose house is this? It doesn't look to be habitable.
Oh my god. I see some really terrible things in the mirror. It's showing me a young woman of about 20. She lived in this house and she was brutally murdered.
She was stabbed with a knife many times.
Yes, she was killed.
She's not related to you, but you, Ola, treated her like family.
Yes.
Who is she?
Tetiana.
Tetiana was the sister of Olha's first husband, whom Olha divorced many years ago. She was friends with his sister. In 2009, Tetiana was brutally murdered. It happened at night in her own house. She suffered over 70 stab wounds. She was 21.
Hold on. I feel a double heartbeat. Was she murdered while she was pregnant?
Yes. She was in her 7th month. It wasn't just shock, it was a nightmare.
Tetiana was murdered after midnight. Her husband was traveling on business. Her mother, who lives nearby, found her body in the morning. She came to bring her pregnant daughter milk.
Everything was covered in blood. I screamed. I saw nothing but it.
The mirror shows me a good-looking young woman. Fair hair, blue eyes. She looks like an angel. It was she who murdered Tetiana.
She's in prison. She's fair-haired and blue-eyed.
Inna used to live in the same village with a little daughter and a husband. The woman looked very youthful and sweet. Nobody could believe she could do something like that.
The cards tell me she did it out of jealousy.
Rumors said Inna was jealous of her husband's interest in Tetiana.
But I don't feel there was something between Tetiana and Inna's husband. But something connected them, though it wasn't an affair.
A job.
Before Tetiana got pregnant, she'd worked in an engineering brigade, where Inna's husband also worked.
The cards told me Inna was aggressive and cruel, and her childhood was to blame. She didn't have the love and care of her parents, so she feared she would lose the only person she loved, her husband. I felt the presence of somebody who loved Tetiana a lot and blamed themselves for her death.
Over there.
Come over here, please.
I'm her sister, Anastasia.
Why do you feel guilty?
Because I didn't stay with her.
Anastasia helped her sister and often stayed to spend a night with her. She thinks that if she'd been around that night, Tetiana could be still alive.
How old were you when it happened?
I was 17.
Do you really believe you could have defended her? Do you realize you die together with her? Don't blame yourself, never. To find out if it's Tetiana's spirit haunting Olha, I decided to tune to her through her sister. It's not Tetiana. Tetiana doesn't haunt Olha.
My mom returned again. The scarred girl is with her. The girl says, "My name is Maya."
Maya.
This is her spirit that's haunting you, Ola.
Maya.
It seems the victim's sister, unlike Olha, knows who it might be.
She wanted to name her daughter Maya. Maya.
It turns out Tetiana was pregnant with a girl and had already chosen this beautiful name for her.
The girl looks like she's 9 or 10 years old.
Wait, how long ago was this murder? 10, right?
Yes, 10 years ago. Why does she keep coming?
God, it's so terrible. The belly is cut. The belly is cut. She stabs the baby, like, oh my God.
This is horrible. Oh God. This is why I see the scar on the spirit's neck.
She was murdered before she even had a chance to be born. Do you see it? Her first breath became the last one. It was a huge shock for the baby.
The souls of people who experienced great shock at the moment of death may stay in our world. This is exactly what happened to this girl.
She's walking around looking for her mom. It was she who's been haunting your house.
I felt it. A swallow flew into the house several times.
It was a child's innocent soul.
The spirit of the murdered girl has come to Olhe. She was giving the signs, so her presence would be felt.
Yes, I occasionally heard the word mom, like someone was calling.
She's simply looking for her mother. The child doesn't know her mother is in the other world. Unfortunately, this dead girl is the source of the danger, though she's doing it unwillingly.
She brings dead energy with her.
Help me, please. I fear for my children, not for myself.
We must help the child find her mother.
Мама, я в командарик. У Могина манго.
The girl's spirit is here. Tell her she must go. She'll hear you and she'll listen to you.
Maya, please, stay with your mother. And let me go, please. Give me peace. Baby, I'm not your mother.
I saw little Maya and my mother vanish. They both left, the girl and my mother.
Maya is going to be all right. She'll be with her mom and they're happy to be together.
I'm so grateful to you, I swear. We all feel a great relief. Thank you so much.
A horrific crime committed by a jealous woman ruined so many lives, and its consequences, as a mysterious black hole, began ruining the lives of absolutely innocent people. The criminal tried to escape punishment for a gruesome murder. However, another punishment caught up with him. The revenge of a ghost. The clairvoyants challenge a poltergeist that's attacking an ordinary Ukrainian family. The mother of the family, Lyubov Havrilyuk, asked them to help after her family found human bones under their house's windows.
Over here, when they were laying gas pipes, the worker who was working here found the bones.
After a strange find, events that send chills started happening in the house.
It was about 3 in the morning. I woke up with a feeling as if somebody had ordered me to do it. I opened my eyes and rose, and then I saw a human silhouette standing in the room.
The unknown mysterious force started doing everything to make Lyubov's family leave the house.
For example, there are dishes in the kitchen, and then you hear clattering like something has exploded, and you see the dishes shatter into tiny pieces.
A glass burst itself in the cupboard. They've got some kind of bad energy there in the house.
Since then, the mother stopped leaving her children home, alone.
I'm afraid that something can happen to them. They're little. I can't even go outside without them. They never stay home alone.
To provide for his family, the father works abroad, and the woman lives in constant fear.
Lyubov was so scared that me and a few of our friends took turns spending the night at her home. We were sitting drinking coffee when we heard some distant noise. It was the noise of the door being opened and closed. Then we saw a shadow in the corridor. It resembled a human silhouette.
A human silhouette without legs, only the body and the head. My friend told me, no offense, but I'll go. And she left me alone.
But the last straw for the mother was a nightmare, after which she became sure that the bones found by the family will bring death to her family.
In that dream, I saw 4 caskets, and a woman was lying on a bed next to the caskets. There are 5 people in my family.
They even had several cameras installed in the house to register the mystical phenomena. And what they saw in the recordings is absolutely surreal. First, the cameras begin losing the signal, and then the things begin falling from the shelves. To stop the aggressive poltergeist, the most powerful psychics of Ukraine, Zhana Shulikova and Olena Kuryllova, came to visit the family.
I had had a dream of a white room. I heard children's laughter in it. It was so vibrant. When I entered, I saw a ginger girl, very cute and about 6 years old, riding a bicycle and pointing her finger upward onto the skies. And there was a slipknot.
What slipknot?
For someone to hang themselves. It was empty.
Soon afterward, the clairvoyants arrive at the site. Lyubov meets them at her house. The father is at work, while the children are at school.
I've been looking forward to seeing you. Please help me. Human bones have been unearthed in my yard.
Over here, please, and here. Was the hole here where I'm standing?
Yes, it was right over here.
It's so terrible. Like, we saw the spirit whose bones had been disturbed. It was a man. He was telling us something, but I didn't understand him.
Are those the man's bones? But who was he? How come his bones ended up in this yard?
If you disturb someone's bones, the person will seek revenge. And a disturbed spirit wants to do only one thing to revenge: to take you to the netherworld. The bones lying here underground took a man with them. He died with his skull smashed. His head was broken.
One man who we hired, a worker, fell and died. After he found the bones, he took them and laughed, asking what he was supposed to do with them, and he died after he hit his head. His skull broke, and he died.
Had you taken the bones to the graveyard and buried there, you could have avoided the death.
Olena, what's wrong? Olena.
What are these? Why didn't you tell us? Here 1, and 2, and 3.
3 graves, 3 graves.
Dear Lord, is it a cemetery here?
The old people told us that there were bones down there.
Lyubov says that the local elderly told her where the 3 old graves had been, and Lyubov arranged a flower bed there on purpose. But she never knew about the 4th grave.
A military uniform.
Yes, I was told they were German graves. Could this be the reason? Should we remove them? Or would it better... What am I supposed to do?
I wouldn't even touch these 3. They're calm. These spirits aren't aggressive, and they didn't attack, except one whose bones were found. But neither Lyubov nor her family disturbed the grave, and they didn't touch the bones. He killed a stranger because he disturbed him. Despite everything, the grave that had been unearthed in the yard was radiating calm energy. Hold on, was a priest ever here?
He was.
This is why they're lying peacefully.
He gave them peace.
Then who's knocking in my house?
I sneak at a glance of a human silhouette behind the house. The only thing I saw was that their hands were covered in blood. Wait. Zhana.
Olena. Olena, what is that?
Ah! The iron ladder. It was standing like this, but fell like that. It's awful. I was shocked. There's an iron ladder there, and it was standing firm on the ground. Even the wind, however strong, never knocked it down.
Next to the ladder, I saw a spirit of a man with bloody hands. And then I noticed he had a slipknot on his neck.
Who could he be? Some relative of mine?
I don't know. You see, he wasn't actually standing. His head was bent like this, and then his feet were above the ground. He was hanging.
As soon as Olena began describing the man's spirit, I heard some weird noise coming from inside the house. Come over here. I saw some dead woman's spirit, and she was repeating the same word over and over again. I think it was a name, Olena. Wait, she is standing? The woman is standing, definitely standing. Olena, who is this Olena?
I have no idea.
What's going on in this house? How many spirits are there active in it, and why?
I don't know who she is. Wait, take who and from where?
We couldn't understand what the deceased woman's spirit was trying to tell us. Who is she anyway? And who is that Olena? And what are we supposed to take?
I decided to take my pendulum and work with it. The gate to the yard. I asked the pendulum where the woman's spirit came from, and it led me to a mob. Where are we going? Give me your hand.
What is your name?
Olena.
Do you hear knocking in your house? Footsteps and squeaks of rapping.
Yes, I've experienced it. I heard the steps and rapping. I thought somebody was knocking on the window pane because the dogs began barking. I went outside but saw nobody, but it felt like someone had put a hand on my knee.
Does this mean the unknown force has been creating chaos not only in Lubov's house?
This is my mother.
Both the mother and the daughter experience absolutely identical events in their houses. I had a feeling that some unearthly force was bound to this family. But the question is, why?
I suggested going to Olena's house and try working there.
There was such powerful necrotic energy around the house that I even feared to step into the yard. Let's go and check in the house.
I'm trembling.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Screaming, blood, and somebody's hands washing something. I saw a clear picture of the house's walls splashed with blood and some man wiping them out hastily, as if he were trying to cover up traces of a murder. Olena. Where's Olena? Olena, what are you doing here?
There's a little girl here, 7 or 8 years old, and in any case, not more than 10. She's a spirit. It was the same ginger girl from the vision I had the other day.
Was there a child that was murdered in your yard?
No.
The little girl says, I'm playing with her. Is there any little girl living in your house?
Yes. Olenka, come here, please. There she's coming.
Hello, darling. Are you Olenka?
Yes.
Olenka is Lubov's niece.
Wait, stay here. Please, have you seen a little girl?
Yes. She was standing in front of the small room.
Was her hair red?
Yes, she was red-headed.
The spirit of the girl I saw in the yard, she wasn't just dead. She was murdered, and she was haunting the house to see her murderer. I couldn't say it in front of the child, so I asked Olenka to go inside. Would you kindly draw her for me? In general features, can you?
Yes.
The dead girl is in your yard, riding a bicycle. What's she doing here?
She's somehow bound to the house. She tells me, one moment. She's bound, thought the man. She says he killed her. Victims' souls only haunt their murderers as if they manage to get away with the murder. It was exactly the case.
My sister's husband, before he married her, he was driving the car in the neighboring village, and he ran over her while she was riding her bicycle. She died as a result.
The accident took place 20 years ago. The girl died at the scene, while the court ruled Petro, Olena's sister's husband, innocent as the child appeared on the road unexpectedly.
Why didn't you tell this earlier? Bring him here.
No need to call him. He's hanging upstairs.
Yes.
Did he hang himself there? In the attic? Upstairs?
Yes.
Now we know who the hung man is.
The man committed suicide in December 2015. He didn't leave any notes or explanations.
Petros, tell me, did I see you on the ladder? Was that you who knocked it down?
Damn it, please.
What's going on? It's something terrifying.
I got scared. Mom, I got so scared.
My heart won't take it any longer. He's extremely aggressive, like it was Petro's spirit. As someone who committed suicide, he's bound to the place of his death. He was mad and restless and craved blood.
Who does he keep coming for?
For the girl.
What girl?
Olenka?
The one who went to draw the picture.
Oh, and dear God!
Jana, he's like a madman. He's lost his mind. And the girl sees Petro.
Yes. She sees him all the time. The back shadow with blue eyes. And her father had blue eyes.
The girl didn't simply see her father. It turned out she's been on the verge of life and death. Her brother saved Olenka at the last moment.
I put my sister, Olenka, to bed and went out for about 20 minutes. But then I had some kind of vague, discomforting feeling, so I ran home and felt heat. She was sleeping.
When the boy entered the room, he was stunned to see that embers from the stove somehow fell on the linoleum. It had to cover over a meter, as if someone threw it out of the stove. The floor caught fire. Alexander was just in time to take his sister out of the house and call firefighters before it was too late.
We had to check how the child was doing because the girl was alone in the house. So, have you drawn the girl? Could you please show me her? Does she ever talk to you, or is she always silent?
She stands watching.
Most of all, I wanted to know why she keeps haunting that place. Even after her murderer, Olena's dad, left this world. That moment that the woman from the vision I had in Lyubov's house emerged behind the girl. She was hugging the girl, patting her head, and kept saying, "My darling." I got it all wrong, and not Olena. No, I can't bear it. She was taken away.
Who was taken away?
The mother was taken away from her child. And it was done with cruelty. The child became an orphan.
Does this mean that the girl's mother is also dead?
In Lyubov's house, I saw the woman who told me to look for Olena. It turned out that she wasn't asking me to find Olena, but her daughter, Olenka, her darling.
Olenka once told me that somebody was patting her on her head while she was sleeping. When she opened her eyes, she saw her mom, who told her, "Sleep, my darling, sleep."
Olenka's mother came to ask me for help. She was asking to save her darling. But the woman wasn't simply dead. She'd been murdered, and the murder was especially cruel. Who took the mother's life?
He did. Not only wasn't he punished for one, but he also got away when he did it for the second time.
Did Olenka's father kill her mother? But how did it happen? And then why did the man do it?
Tell me her name, please.
Larissa.
Once I tuned into the name, I again saw the image I'd seen earlier that day. Look, he approaches her from behind. Here's the table. She's standing at it. It looks like it's a kitchen. She's standing there or doesn't suspect anything. Then he grabs her like this and starts stabbing with a knife in her face.
The terrifying tragedy happened 2 years ago. Larissa was found dead in the kitchen. The woman bled to death after she'd been stabbed with a knife repeatedly.
11 wounds in her neck and the right side of her head, the forehead and the top of her head were heavily bruised. All I can say is that it was terrible. Really terrible.
Blood all over the walls, so he was trying to wash it off. He was washing the blood off. Petro not only killed his wife, but he covered up all the traces. After that, he hid in the attic and watched the family find Larissa's dead body.
He wasn't going to hang himself. But no, he wasn't.
Then what was he going to do?
It feels like he hears you scream. He hears you scream over her. When you began screaming, he realized he'd have no way out of here.
We were told my sister had gone by 10 o'clock. She stopped answering her phone at 8. And at 10, he was talking to our neighbor, cracking jokes with him. And afterward, he said he had some work left to be done. Back then, he was seen alive.
The little girl that he'd killed was next to him.
The little girl he'd killed was next to him. The child's spirit had been haunting him in his dreams and when he was awake. As a result, the man paid a high price with his own sanity.
He started losing his mind.
When he murdered Larissa, he wasn't a human anymore. It's like a demon took hold of him.
It was Larissa who was haunting Lyubov's house. She was trying to tell her sister to ask for help, then save Olenka from her father's angry spirit.
The spirit of the dead red-headed girls keeps haunting the house because she's trying to save Olenka from her father, who keeps hunting her.
Petro's spirit was very aggressive. We had to trick him out of the house and close it, and so he'll never enter it.
Do you have any of his possessions left at home?
I do.
The personal possession to bind him to, the ropes to bind him with, the bait to lure him, and fire. Olena, lock it. Have you locked it?
Yes.
The souls of people who took their own life are bound to the places where they died. The house's door is locked for Petro forever, so he won't be able to hurt anybody, and neither in this house nor outside of it.
Thank you so much. I'm genuinely grateful to you.
Thank you for helping us.
Several months after the investigation, Lyubov called to say that the ritual had worked and her family was finally living peacefully.
It's so calm and quiet, and I'm not afraid anymore and can go outside. The fear is gone.
Does Olenka still see spirits? Is she scared?
No. Olenka is not scared at all. She can stay at home alone without any fear at all. Thank you so much.
Every deed has consequences, they say. The fact that the man guilty of a terrible accident got away with the child's death resulted in a tragedy not only for him, but also for his whole family. A ghost attacks a family because of a voice recording. What is this family's fault? And will the poltergeist stop after he is asked for forgiveness? A mystical force attacking an ordinary family. Can the clairvoyance stop the chain of deaths and save the life of a little boy named Rostik? His parents, Serhiy and Oksana, are confident that something evil wants to choke their son.
You feel there's a silhouette, a shadow in the room. But once you look at it, it goes away.
Ever since, they've been saving the boy from asphyxiation. Oddly, he's always finding ropes or similar things, which are supposed to be hidden from him, and winding them around his neck.
I run up to him, but I can't undo it. I'm scared. How or why it's all happening?
According to the parents, it's impossible that the toddler, who's no more than a meter tall, could reach the ropes in the 3-meter-tall wardrobe by himself.
It feels awful to go through something like this.
Worst of all, Oksana thinks that the unknown force is also here after her husband. Recently, an electric saw almost cut Serhai's head off. The man was cutting firewood when the tool, which had been in good condition, failed. The razor-sharp metal disc ripped from it and soared towards Serhii.
It cracks, and a piece of it shoots at the wall.
The man avoided it and escaped disaster with a stroke of luck. Before it happened, he felt the presence of something evil behind him, and later on, his car suddenly blazed up at the gas station.
I put a nozzle into the inlet and went to the cash desk to pay. Then I heard the attendant running to me and shouting that my car was on fire.
On that day, the little boy was supposed to be in the car with his dad. However, the mother changed her mind and decided to keep their son at home.
Most of all, I'm afraid to bury my husband and my child. I'm terrified.
The couple is sure there's a curse on their family. One by one, 6 men have already died under strange circumstances in Serhei's family, all of them young.
It can't be a coincidence. It's a pattern.
I'd like to ask for help before I've lost my husband or son. I'm terribly afraid to lose them.
The 2 most powerful psychics in Ukraine, Ayal Alekperov and Olha Stonushenko, have taken on the family's case.
I saw a woman clad in white, covered in blood all over. She said that she'd been strangled.
Then why is she bloodied?
I don't know, but when I asked who had murdered her, she showed me an envelope with a cut-off finger inside.
The Jinn say I will find the answer when I lay my hands on the dead woman's voice.
Several hours later, the clairvoyants are at the house where Serhei's family lives.
I am truly grateful you're here.
Come in up, please.
I saw a silhouette of a dead man with a rope around his neck next to Serhii. He's not old. He has dark hair and an elongated nose.
This is my father.
Did your father commit suicide?
Serhei's father hung himself a few years earlier. The police said that the man's fight with his wife was the reason he killed himself. Nevertheless, Serhii still can't understand why his father would do this.
His death was a blow to you.
He only told me that his father had died. And he couldn't say more. He was deeply shocked.
I don't remember how the year after it happened went. It's like it was ripped out of my life. My father was everything to me. He raised me and he taught me. He taught me to be a man.
Your mother's not around. Where is she?
She and Dad had conflicts and she left. She's from Russia, so she went there.
The mother left the boy when he was only 3 years old.
I lacked motherly love a lot. I felt offended.
I see an image of your dad holding some burning letters in his hands.
I once found a letter from my mother from the north in his pocket. After a while, I saw him burn the letter.
But I also see you standing next to her. As an adult, did you find your mother?
I did find her.
When Serhii was 20 years old, he found one of his mother's letters that had been left behind in his dad's things. There, she wrote how she missed her son and how she wanted to see him. Her address was on the envelope, so the young man decided to find his mother, regardless of what it cost.
The Jinns say the meeting with your mother opened your eyes. You learned she wasn't actually going to leave you. Is that right?
He beat her. And she tried many times to come and take me with her.
He didn't let him go.
My father refused to let me go with her.
Serhei's father told his wife that if she tried to take their son, he'd kill both of them. The woman was forced to leave the boy with his father.
Although the son eventually found his mother, I felt that they didn't talk at that moment.
It was like paying a visit to your aunt. I said hello, she said hello, and that was all. I didn't know what I was supposed to do next. I'd lived 18 years of my life motherless, so I didn't know the feeling.
Serhiy failed to get along with his mother. So after a while, he came back home.
At that moment, I heard the voice of Serhiy's father. He said, "I am here to protect my son from her. Save him." Suddenly, the spirits of different men started emerging around us. They were like zombies. I feel that the spirits that emerged here are all deceased members of your family. But why do all of them have ropes around their necks?
6 people committed suicide in my family.
My jinns are telling me that all the men in your family took their own lives because of a woman's murder.
My grandfather had a brother. He strangled his wife on the clay stove, for which he was locked up.
The woman returned from the other world, but she only did so to take revenge on her murderer.
Yes, after he was released, he died on the same clay stove.
The jinns say the men in your family have been hanging themselves, not because she takes them away, but because they've been cursed. The victim's mother did it.
Yes.
I can even hear the words. The woman was yelling, your sons and your grandchildren will never be happy with women and will have terrible deaths. Be damned on all of you!
Help us, please. Lift the curse and stop this nightmare. I'm begging you, please. This is horrifying.
The jinns say only direct descendants of the murderer suffer from the curse. Serhiy, his son and his father are not the murderer's direct descendants, so the curse can't spread to them.
I decided to carry out a ritual and to suspend the curse temporarily. To rid themselves of it altogether, Serhiy's relatives must visit 7 churches, light candles for the peace of the murdered woman's soul, and help the sick and the poor.
However, as soon as the psychics finished the ritual, Hayal Alekbarov rushed inside Serhiy's house.
In the yard, I felt ice cold and then saw somebody's silhouette. After that, I only heard the words, "I'll avenge my death." But I didn't have a chance to see who was saying that because the ghost entered the house.
Unbelievable. The cupboard above the room door fell. But who could make it fall? There was nobody in the house.
It was the foresight scene. I feel this entity wants to kill you, and it's doing it all as a threat. I see crosses on the walls. These are the marks it left in the house.
There was a cross on the opposite side of the glass, on the clock. We tried to wash it off, but if you look closer, you'll still see it there.
Indeed, I see the cross. Look! Oh, dear God!
Oksana still can't understand how the mysterious cross could appear on the inside of the clock glass. It's impossible to access it with your hand or other things.
At that moment, the jinns told me we had to find the woman who had been murdered because of a love triangle. I see an image, the top shelf of a wardrobe, and there's something on it. Wait a minute. It's a voice recorder, and I feel it has a record of a female voice.
Yes, it does.
Could you play it, please?
Hello, mister. Yes, we missed you. Did you miss us? Oh, as usual.
It's apparent from the recording that it's a phone conversation between a woman and a man. But who is this woman, and why did somebody record her conversation?
This is the voice of the victim. This woman doesn't live anymore.
It was the woman my father loved.
When Serhiy was 15, his father met Valentina. Together with her 2 daughters of Serhiy's age, she moved into their house. The voice in the recording is hers.
I see the woman's spirit. She's tall, dark-haired, and thin-lipped. Who could it be?
Valentina.
Then I heard the woman's spirit say, "This is revenge. It's all his fault." But I couldn't understand who she wanted revenge on and why. But suddenly, she told me I could only understand it if I saw the house in which she and her husband used to live. Is the house nearby?
Yes.
The psychics and the couple go to the house of Serhiy's father.
Oh my God! I see a woman and she's all bloodied. Blood is everywhere. She's lying over here. She was murdered here.
Yes.
The Jinn say she was murdered by a man who lacks a finger. Who was it?
One of my father's fingers was missing.
Did your father kill this woman?
Yes.
In 2012, Serhiy's father killed the woman in cold blood in this house.
It was the same woman I'd seen in my vision who was extending the envelope with the cut-off finger towards me. I realized she was trying to show me who had murdered her. But why would Serhiy's father cut his finger off? And why was it in the envelope?
Later, we found that after Serhiy's mother wrote a letter to her son, his father, in response, cut off his finger and posted it to her.
He wanted to return her and was thus showing that he loved her, so she would come back to him.
In that letter, Serhiy's father wrote that he was ready to sacrifice everything he had only to make her return. But why did the man kill his second wife?
It was odd. The woman I saw that was covered in blood, but I didn't have the feeling that she'd been stabbed to death. She died because she couldn't breathe.
It turned out that the woman had indeed choked. The man attacked her so violently that her ribs broke, piercing her lungs. The victim's daughter told us about it, asking not to show her face.
The pathologist noted in the report that the rib broke and pierced her lungs and heart. Mom died immediately. She didn't even realize what had happened.
Wait, if your mother choked, then whose blood was covering her?
My father's?
But he hung himself. How could it be?
He tried to cut his veins and wanted to lie next to her, but the blood started to coagulate. So he hung himself.
After he murdered his wife and failed to commit suicide, Serhiy's father left the room, locked the door, and hung himself in the corridor.
At that moment, the woman's spirit said, "Serhiy is connected with my death." How was this possible? The spirit says the reason was in. Did your stepmother cheat on your father?
Not long before her murder, Valentina found a job as a housekeeper at a single man's home. When Serhiy's father heard about it, he started a nasty argument and even locked his wife in the cellar for a while.
When I arrived home, I found Mom bruised all over. The bruises covered her legs completely. I asked her what had happened. Well, to put it short, we have a basement, a cellar, so he'd locked her in it.
The daughter tried to persuade Valentina to leave, but the woman decided she'd speak to the man first. She explained to him that she'd never cheated on him. Serhiy's father didn't believe her and told his son about his suspicions. Annoyed, Serhiy decided to help his father expose expose his unfaithful wife.
I wanted to know whether she was really cheating on him.
Serhiy bought his father a voice recorder, and the man recorded the phone conversation between Valentina and her employer. There's another record on the recorder in which she confesses she's been
unfaithful?
Yes. So we had proof. She was talking to her new lover. It's like I'm humiliating my father.
It's strange, but I didn't hear anything that could prove the woman's unfaithfulness. Besides, I didn't feel any romantic connection between Valentina and the man who hired her. I see he was bedridden, and physically, she couldn't have any sexual relations with him. Valentina agreed to work at the man's only because he promised to leave his home for her, and she was hoping to leave it for her daughters.
He told her that if she took care of him, he'd leave his 3-bedroom apartment for her daughters. She cleaned the apartment, washed clothes, and so on.
Serhiy, you supported your father in his suspicions. Do you understand that the recording because of which your father committed suicide is there because of you?
I understand that it could possibly be my fault. It all happened because of this voice recorder. But I couldn't say no to him. I was ready to do anything and give him anything because I know how much he sacrificed for me. He gave me everything he had.
But I felt that in fact, Serhiy didn't do it because he wanted to support his father, but because he didn't like his stepmother.
After the investigation, Serhiy admitted that, as a teenager, he dreamed the woman would be a new mother for him. However, she gave all her care to her daughters.
She never cared about me. She paid no attention to me, never gave me presents, and didn't care to teach me something. I didn't receive anything from her.
A few months after they married, Serhiy's father decided to send his son to study at a military school. According to Serhiy, he only arrived home twice a year, but he saw that his father was giving all his love and attention to Valentina and her daughters.
He deprived me of it and gave it all to them.
He bore an awful grudge that overwhelmed him. He couldn't imagine the calamity it could unleash.
Yes, I knew that he was short-tempered. He was highly short-tempered. I didn't expect them to break up smoothly, nor did I anticipate this. I thought he might beat her up, but he killed her. I understand that it's also my fault.
Your dead stepmother's spirit is the force that's been hunting you and your son. This is her revenge for the murder.
Please help me survive it.
Help us appease her soul so she leaves us alone. Please.
The only thing we could do was summon Valentina's spirit, so Serhiy could apologize to her. If you do it sincerely, the spirit may forgive you.
Aunt Valentina, I am so sorry. Don't bear a grudge against me. Let go of me and my family. I didn't realize what I was doing, I swear. Please forgive me for what I did. I wasn't thinking at all.
Your apology is accepted. At the sunrise, her soul will leave your house for good.
Hell is paved with good intentions, as the saying goes. The son's present, the voice recorder, ignited a killing hatred in his short-tempered and jealous father, and the consequences were grave.